Welcome back to the Rewired C-Suite. Today, I want to talk about something that may sound controversial. For decades, enterprise software has been at the center of business operations. SAP, Salesforce, Workday, ServiceNow, Oracle. Companies have spent billions implementing these systems. Entire careers have been built around learning how to use them. Entire consulting industries have emerged to configure, customize, and integrate them. But what if we are approaching the biggest shift in enterprise technology since the arrival of ERP systems? What if the future of enterprise software is not better software? What if the future is software that becomes invisible? Let me explain. Today, every major technology company is investing heavily in AI. Microsoft is embedding Copilot into every workflow. Salesforce is betting on Agentforce. SAP is integrating Joule across its portfolio. Google, Oracle, ServiceNow, Workday, everyone is racing to add AI capabilities. And most executives are asking, which AI application should we deploy? But I believe that is the wrong question. The more important question is, what happens when employees no longer need applications at all? Think about how work happens today. You want to create a purchase order. You open SAP. You want to approve a vacation request. You open Workday. You want to update a customer opportunity. You open Salesforce. The employee needs to know the system. The employee needs to understand the process. The employee needs to navigate screens, transactions, and workflows. In other words, the human adapts to the software. That has been the model for the last 30 years. Now imagine a different future. Instead of opening an application, an employee simply says, "Prepare a budget proposal for next year. Analyze our top supplier risks. Generate a board-ready report on project performance. Create a new contract for this supplier." The employee focuses on the outcome. The AI agent figures out how to get there. The agent retrieves information. The agent interacts with systems. The agent orchestrates workflows. The agent coordinates tasks. The employee never opens the application. This is where things become interesting. Because if that future becomes reality, then enterprise software does not disappear. But its role fundamentally changes. SAP still exists. Salesforce still exists. Workday still exists. But they become systems of record rather than systems of interaction. They become transaction engines, compliance engines, data repositories. The intelligence layer moves above them. And that intelligence layer is increasingly powered by AI agents. This shift may sound subtle. In reality, it is transformational. For years, software vendors competed on user interfaces. Who had the best screens, the best dashboards, the best workflows, the best user experience? But in an agent-driven world, users may rarely interact with those interfaces. The interface becomes the conversation. The interface becomes intent, and that changes the economics of software. If AI agents become the primary interaction layer, then the competitive advantage shifts. The winners will not necessarily be those with the prettiest applications. The winners will be those with the strongest business capabilities underneath, the best data, the best APIs, the best governance, the best enterprise architecture. Ironically, AI may make architecture more important than ever before, because an AI agent can only orchestrate what exists. If your data is fragmented, the agent struggles. If your processes are inconsistent, the agent struggles. If ownership is unclear, the agent struggles. If systems are disconnected, the agent struggles. This is why many organizations are getting excited about AI while overlooking the harder challenge. The challenge is not AI. The challenge is enterprise readiness. Many organizations still operate with fragmented landscapes, duplicated processes, siloed data, unclear accountability. AI does not solve these problems. In many cases, AI exposes them. That is why I often say AI creates possibility. Organizations create outcomes. Technology is moving incredibly fast, but organizational transformation remains the bottleneck. And this leads to an even bigger question. What happens to management? Because if AI agents can coordinate workflows across multiple systems, then management itself begins to change. Many managerial activities today are coordination activities, status reporting, information gathering, task tracking, follow-ups, escalations, progress monitoring. AI agents are becoming surprisingly good at these tasks, not because they are intelligent in a human sense, but because they can process large amounts of information across systems and workflows. This means managers will spend less time coordinating work and more time making decisions, less time collecting information, and more time creating direction, less time supervising execution, and more time shaping outcomes. The role of leadership evolves. The role of the CIO evolves as well. Historically, CIOs were responsible for applications, infrastructure, projects, technology operations. Tomorrow's CIO will increasingly become the architect of a human plus agent enterprise, a leader responsible for orchestrating people, AI, processes, governance, and business capabilities into a coherent operating model. That is a very different role. And perhaps the most important implication of all is this: the future enterprise may not be defined by the software it owns. It may be defined by the intelligence layer that orchestrates it. For the last 30 years, organizations adapted people to software. Over the next decade, software will increasingly adapt to people. And when that happens, the applications we know today may not disappear, but they will fade into the background. The strategic question for every CEO, CIO, and CTO is no longer, which software should we buy? The real question is, how do we redesign our organization when software is no longer the primary interface to work? Thank you for watching. If you found this perspective useful, subscribe to the Rewired C-Suite, where we explore the intersection of AI, digital transformation, enterprise architecture, and leadership in the age of intelligent enterprises. See you in the next episode.